Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Welcome aboard. Today I am drinking tea to Bob Mortimer's pretty legendary specifications. That is tea, 16 sugars, milk. Here's the deal. For every spoon of this that goes in there, we're going to learn a fun fact about Bob Mortimer. For this, we'll be needing my third favourite teaspoon. I know what you're thinking, third favourite, kind of shortchanging you a bit there, so I've got out my favourite chair. Let it begin. I just want to point something out. For every 100 grams of this sugar, there's 100 grams of sugar, which makes sense to me. But there's also 0.01 grams of salt. So in this entire bag, there is half a gram of salt. Fair enough. 1. Bob Mortimer, fun fact number 1. I probably won't, anyway. He once had trials with Middlesbrough Football Club. Fucking hell. He once had trials with Middlesbrough Football Club before arthritis derailed his football career. That's not very fun. Moving on. 2. He can tear an apple in half with his bare hands. There's not much more to that. He's just done it a couple of times on TV and it's pretty cool. I've never given it a go. You know what? I'm going to go see if I've got an apple. 3. Before making it big in comedy, he was a practicing solicitor, working for Southwark Council, and eventually had a private practice in Peckham. Pretty proud of myself for saying private practice in Peckham properly, first try. Pretty proud of my private practice in Peckham. He probably said that at one point. I've almost lost count already. Number 4. He was nicknamed the Cockroach King. After handling public health... This was after handling cases to do with the Public Health Act. I've completely forgotten how to word this, but basically it had to do with cases involving the Public Health Act and sort of standards of living space. It had to do with cockroaches, basically. Bob Mortimer prosecuted cockroaches. It was a local paper that gave him the name. 5. Oh, fucking hell. As a child, he accidentally set fire to his family home with a firework. I'd expand on that story, but honestly, I can't do it justice compared to the man himself. His autobiography is one of the best books I've ever read twice, one of the only books I've ever read twice, and I've not read it once, actually. I've listened to the audiobook twice. I don't know why I was trying to lie to you there. It's a good book. Go pick it up. I'm going to say 6. At university, he played in a punk band called Dog Dirt. Not much more to say on that. I can't even find out what he played or if he was the front man or... Honestly, if I didn't know that fact and someone told me today that they were in a band called Dog Dirt, I would think that sounds like a Bob Mortimer joke. I'm struggling a bit. How many have I done? I think I'm on 6. I'm gonna go make myself a bit more comfortable. 7. He once bought a cat and named it Good Monson. I wanted to expand on that. So I tried to Google why does Bob Mortimer have a cat called Good Monson? And the first thing that comes up before you finish the sentence is, why does Bob Mortimer fall over? Poor guy. I can't find out exactly why he's got a cat called Good Monson, but he's got 2 cats, one called Good Monson and one called Mavis, which is nice. 8. His debut novel, The Satsuma Complex, is actually... His debut novel, The Satsuma Complex, was renamed in the US to The Clementine Complex. You're probably expecting me to explain why now, aren't you? You wouldn't believe, for such a fun guy, it's really difficult to find fun facts about Bob Mortimer. Sorry, I'm so fragile that I was actually getting a headache from having my hair tied up, so that'll be fun for continuity. 9. He's the most frequent guest on Would I Lie to You, having appeared in 11 episodes. That's a fun fact. 10. He's never been a panelist on QI. Despite many of his colleagues and contemporaries having appeared on the show, we can only assume that he's just too interesting for a show called Quite Interesting. I can't remember. I think this is 11. Okay, well, you know, I'm gonna have to do that one again anyway, so there we go. Well, I was gonna hoover anyway. I'm having a slight hair malfunction. It happens. I'm having a bad hair day. I've had about 365 bad hair days this year. He married his partner Lisa about half an hour before having triple bypass surgery. Once again, I could expand on this, but go by the book. When I run out of facts, we'll know it's time to stop putting sugar in when I run out of facts. He co-hosts the podcast Athletico Mints, which, okay, fair enough, we might be stretching the idea of a fun fact here a little bit, but it's a fun podcast. It is a fact that he co-hosts it with Andy Dawson. What more do you want? For about 15 years, from 1996 to 2011, he was the voice of Churchill the dog. Bonus fact for you, that would mean I was about 16 when he finally gave that gig up, and I was probably about 25 when I realised that it was him. The irony is not lost on me how low energy this video is for a video that features this much sugar. In 2017, he won Series 5 of Taskmaster, and then promptly went on to become last in Champion of Champions, which I think is having the best of both worlds. I think it's safe to say that he's won a place in everybody's heart as the least competitive champion of anything. I lost my spoon, it was in the cup, crazy. Here comes the choo-choo train. There you go, little fishy. Fucking losing my mind. He has an honor. Shit. He has a. Hey, how's it going? You alright? Hi. Go and be free. God, you stink. He has an honorary doctorate from Teesside University, and I never want to talk about that ever again. Okay, we're just taking turns now. Cool. As a younger man, he would take... Sorry, this is actually quite difficult. As a younger man, he would take 16 sugars in his tea. Reports vary slightly between 16 and 17, but it's safe to say that that's too much sugar. Boop. Because of the varying reports on how much sugar he used to take, we're going to have a bonus round. Bob Mortimer used to do his own dentistry for decades, and you know, coming from a man who takes 16 sugars in his tea, that's not surprising. I imagine he was doing quite a bit of dentistry. I feel like it's kind of a responsibility of mine to mention that oral health is directly linked to heart health, so you know, don't do this at home. No way, no. Okie dokie. It's great. I've always wanted an ant farm. Guess this is how you get the ants. So that was, in theory, 17 fun facts about Bob Mortimer. I'm not sure if there was actually 17. I've totally lost count of how many sugars are in this tea. But can I do the last bit on my own? So all that's left to do is to drink some tea. You'll see I've been very tactical about this. Not only have I used quite a big mug, I've triple bagged it for balance. Does that look like I've got a fish head? Well, I think we've all learned something about Bob Mortimer today. Here's to you, Bob. Fuck. Honestly, in the moment, I genuinely got so caught up in thinking about Bob Mortimer and, you know, drinking to his health and just thinking, God, this is a really heavy cup of tea, that I didn't sort of brace myself for how sweet that was obviously going to be. You know, before turning the camera on this one, I was like, this isn't going to be one of those videos where someone does something stupid like put 16 sugars in a tea and then he's shocked when it's really sweet, is it? No, this will be something more than that. What's the point of even putting the tea back in? Well, Mr. Mortimer, Dr. Mortimer, if you're out there and you see this, I just want to let you know that is dreadful. Oh, I don't know why I keep on fucking drinking it. That was an experience. So that'll be about 340 calories worth of sugar. I found it quite interesting when I first heard about Bob's slightly over the top level of sugar in his tea, because like looking back, he started doing it around the same time that his dad died or just after. And like with the benefit of hindsight, it would seem that he was using a mood altering substance to sort of self-medicate. Which once again is factual, not very fun though. Well, I'm not entirely sure how to sign this one off, so I'll just say thanks for sticking till the end. I hope you learned something. Apologies for not being able to count. And thanks to Bob Mortimer for inspiring me to do this.